Hi, welcome to another round of meditation. And I'm super excited, super pumped for this new overall look, I guess. I mean, earlier today, I was fixing my background in the sense like I had the spare blanket. So, I tried to kind of like lay it out in the back. And then I realized that the logo of the company's brand was printed. I won't say printed, but maybe like embodied on one side of the blanket. And I spent probably an hour, just pulling those threads. And later on, I realized I could have just flipped it over. Instead of having that print up there, I could have it at the bottom, which would be hidden by the camera. So yeah, things like that, dumb things like that. It kind of made me laugh because that's so lame, and I'm actually still sober. It was a different story for if I were high or something, right? But it's it's weird. Like sometimes I have my own way of thinking, and then I had to realize it later on that I could have like done it in a completely different way without spending so much time and energy. And I bet all of us goes through some of the other random experiences like that. And I don't know what kind of make us do some of those random things. Is it more like our subconscious mind, or is it more like our distracted mind in the present moment? Or could be like something else ingrained from the past, like the past pattern. Who knows? I think it's a combination of all of that, you know. But at the same time, like I love this theme of Avatar, and I kind of like the concept of Avatar, where you can switch your bodies from your present body to different body. Don't get me wrong, I love this body. I mean, I am so grateful that I have this healthy immune body, even though I tend to have like a few disadvantages, I guess, like everyone else. But overall, I feel like this body is amazing. Uh, but the concept of Avatar, at least in the movie, how they portrayed is that you would be able to flow from your existing body to different body, like your soul can go from one body to other body. And that in part is adapted from the Hindu mythology, because in Hinduism, one of the gods, or pretty much all the gods, can reincarnate and shape their, or more like, reincarnate in different timelines with different bodies and have different attributes, different relations, different parents, different, I don't know, partners, different siblings, and that all kind of change the aura of that avatar in that specific era. And honestly, I don't buy the concept of reincarnation or avatar for that matter. Uh, but I like the concept of it. I personally hope that once I die, I remain dead. There is no coming in different body. There is no recycling of anything other than my body, I guess. Recycling of some sort of soul or consciousness. No, I would like to kind of stay dead. Or if I could, or if there is something called reincarnation, then I would like to be aware of the next phase of my life and reincarnate maybe in like on a different planet, in different uh, humanoid level being, maybe like maybe even higher than that, or reincarnate maybe in a different dimension if that's even possible. Who knows? We know is that we are living in this third dimension, or three-dimensional, not third, three-dimensional, and there may be two-dimensional universe or reality. Likewise, there could be fourth and higher dimensional reality. I think the most boring would be the one dimensional reality because only you can only just move in one direction. That's pretty much it. With at least two dimension, you can move at least in two different directions. And three, obviously, you experience it. And I guess our brains are too dumb to imagine what fourth dimension would look like, let alone, feel like. Uh, but we are moving in a different dimension, I guess. That's a virtual dimension. Because now that most of the world are signing up for this virtual reality or digital reality as we know it at the moment, you could see that people are creating their avatars online. And interestingly, you can see that different people are creating avatar based on different, I don't know, animals. Like some people create with, like, I don't know, dragon, some create with horse, some create with some other random thing. In a way, I feel that we can project what our inner self feel like, at least in that moment, and create this digital avatar online, which is awesome. I guess like in the future, once most of the people would be up there or online, we would be able to interact with each other with our own personalized avatars. And maybe that avatar will capture the essence of that being, if the other way to look at it is that I believe or I think that most of us tend to mimic different qualities of different animals or different beings. So if you have a characteristic of being loyal, then let's just say your digital avatar might be a dog or something related to that. And likewise, if you tend to be kind, then maybe your digital avatar is gonna be, what's the kindest animal? I don't know. Maybe cow. I don't know. I mean, cow can do nasty things too. They can, just run towards you, charge towards you, and like hit you. So who knows? Who knows what is the kindest animal? I don't know. I guess like different times, every animal or most of the animals have the characteristic of being kind, because I've watched plenty of videos online where, say, a predator is saving a prey, or instead of eating a prey, they're protecting them or something. So that's an act of kindness, right? Maybe even if they are hungry and they still try to protect maybe a baby deer, or like a lion protecting a baby deer or something on that line. And there are a ton of videos which you can take a peek into the kindness of different beings. So I bet that we all have some of these characteristics of being kind and gentle and whatnot. But at the same time, like the nature is also very ferocious, because there are beings who doesn't give a shit, and they just are like killing machine, so to speak. And I don't know what if they lack some sort of like chemistry in their brain or body or whatever to be kinder. Who knows? But I'm glad that at least I'm experiencing a life of a human, so I could consciously choose to be kinder. Even though there are times when I'm not, I come across as an asshole, but more or less, I try to correct myself and be a kinder person. But it's a it takes a while, and I'm a work in progress. So yeah. But coming back to the digital avatar part of it, uh, I'm I would be curious, not surprised, but curious at what time or how long before we could maybe feel um, the the emotions and the characteristics of the digital avatar. So imagine we are living in this technologically advanced civilization where we could literally, go into a different virtual reality, like Ready Player One movie, kind of, or Ready Player One book, which I haven't read, kind of showcase. But once you're in that reality, whatever avatar you choose to where you may gain a new sense of experience. For instance, who knows, like if you're a dog in that digital VR, then maybe your sense of smell will heighten and you would be able to trace, you know, things from far away, like how dogs does. So if that's would be the case, imagine what would be the what would it mean to be human anymore to begin with. I mean, maybe most of us will choose to lie in a matrix like chamber and just spend most of our time in the virtual world. And this is not exaggerated reality. It's already uh, prophesized in a lot of ways, like through books and through movies and whatnot. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what most of us end up choosing. Personally, I have a mixed feeling of that. I think technology is awesome, and maybe if we can project ourselves in a different reality, virtual reality, and can experience a new sense, a new way of looking at the reality. But at the same time, I kind of am scared of losing touch with the actual reality and whatever that means, right? Who knows if we end up creating these chambers where we can just have an active brain in there. And again, these are not like new thoughts. These have been told multiple times, but just play along. Like if we are in this chamber with just our brain and our bodies are sort of non-essential, not required, because our brain could just project ourselves in this virtual reality and can feel all the experiences because that's what or that's how we actually feel everything, right? Like it's sure our body have receptors and whatnot, but if those receptors are messed up, then your brain may not even catch some of the feelings or some of the experiences on those receptors. So your body is sort of like an input, but your brain is something which is processing that input and give you an output which you call your reality or experience. So if that input is a bit messed up, and there are plenty of cases where people do have messed up senses. I'm blanking on the exact uh, uh, syndrome or something, but there is this one disease, I guess, where a person doesn't feel anything with on their skin. So even if their hand is on top of fire, like in the fire rather, they won't feel the effects. They won't feel the burning effects, but their hand definitely will be burning because it's a skin, it's a matter. So it still obey the physical laws of physical matter. So imagine in that scenario where your brain is saying that okay, you don't have any senses with that touch feeling, but your hand will actually be burning, and that's a scary thought, to be honest. And but it's not far from I would say it's not far from assuming that in the future we may be trapped in a chamber with just experiencing uh, the senses from a projected digital world avatar. And I would be curious to learn, like, what would be your digital avatar if you end up, you know, living till that technological evolution. I don't know if that technology will evolve in my lifestyle, in my lifetime. But if it does, then I would definitely play around with different avatars for sure. For once, I would like to experience the senses of octopus because I feel that octopus is one of that mystery in our current world where they tend to be super smart beings, and still we don't know how smart they are, in the sense like, imagine this, like, we all have this brain, and brain have neurons, but our other part of our body doesn't have neuron except for gut brain. That's a conversation for another time. But octopus have neurons throughout their body. Their tentacles can not only sense different things but also can process different things. That could be like a completely different sense of reality, and I would like to experience that just to see, like, what it feels like. um, and then I would like to experience being a horse, being a wolf, being maybe a jaguar, maybe a bird. How awesome it would be to be a bird, just fly uh, in fly in the sky anywhere you want, and just fly above the clouds, just look at the world from the bird eye view, and uh, just experience that sheer thrill. I can't even imagine that. Even though, like, I have experienced a bit of it, like, while skydiving, I experienced what it feels like to be in air and flying. But it's not the same as being a bird and flying and maybe like playing with the air, like how fishes play with the stream of water. Likewise, a bird have to play with the stream of wind, and it does sounds amazing. And I know there are adventurous sports out there, which I guess I'm not sure if I'm gonna try it, but I'm blanking on the exact sport. Probably not paragliding, but something on that line where people can just jump off the cliff and use sort of glider to move around and experience what it might feel like flying. What it feels like flying, and who knows? I tried to do paragliding once, and that, uh, out of all the places, that was in Peru, and the wind was too strong, and we landed within, I don't know, a couple minutes. So it was a bummer. But hopefully, I'm sure, like, next time when I find something like paragliding, I might just go ahead and do it, because it is one of the closest thing you can feel like a bird, because you're gliding through. Even with skydiving, you're actually falling down, so you're not like flying. And when your parachute is up, you're still sort of like drifting with the air, but you're not like flying. With the glide, I think you would be able to like control, and you can just come down or go up, and just play with the wind, like surf on the wind. And I would definitely like to surf as well. That's another goal of mine. And I can imagine, like, maybe one of my digital avatar would be, I don't know, like one of those uh, uh, one of those maybe dolphins or a whale or something. But I really don't know if they surf over the water. I doubt it. Like none of those. I mean, dolphins do jump, and those seems kind of like awesome. And I've seen some of those back in Peru, where there were pink river dolphins jumping all over the river, or one of these subsidiary of Amazon, and it was super fun to just watch them do that, and just try to kind of like figure out wherever you see a big splash, you just look at it and hope that you look on time to catch a glimpse of those dolphins. But it was very fun just to be in Amazon and connect with different beings. Had a different feeling altogether, and especially when I was in Amazon, I didn't have any internet connection. I actually should take it back. I mean, I did. I mean, the center where I was staying did had a satellite Wi-Fi connection, but most of the times I was out there, so I wasn't like connected to the entire world. So it was a good detachment from the virtual world, and was a good experience to actually experience the reality as it is. Uh, and trust me, when you're walking in jungle without any, I would say, a means to communicate to anyone, that means you're on your own. You're on your own. I did had a guide with me, and he had like machete and stuff to kind of like protect both of us from any animals. But still, just walking in the jungle felt like so aliveness, because uh, you are constantly present in the moment. You are constantly paying attention to the various noises or the sounds of different beings, and trying to kind of analyze if it's a monkey, if it's a some parrot or some other bird, or maybe a jaguar. Just trying to analyze various sounds and understand the patterns within the sound as well, which is what language is, right? It's just a pattern recognition. It has a set of rules, but at the end of the day, it's nothing but just patterns of different sounds. And interestingly, how whatever I'm saying right now, creating these patterns of different sounds, and you once you listen it, you gonna process it in your own way with your own experience. And some of the things which I'm trying to communicate would be lost in during this transmission. And I guess that's where connecting with different people helps. Like when you're truly connected, then language is not a barrier. Language is just a means. Because when you understand a person, when you can feel what they're feeling, then language can just enrich that experience. It doesn't try to replace, the connection. So, one of the ways where how I'm trying to strengthen my connection with different people is to pay complete attention to them when I'm interacting with them. So basically, just listen to them, and trust me, I'm not good at it, and it's super difficult for me, because I'm constantly distracted. At times distracted by what the other person is saying. At times distracted by what I want to say next. So, and these are all sort of like natural process, and I bet like you can agree with me there. Well, and that's why I feel that listening is such an important skill, and most of us actually don't have that. Maybe like we don't have patience or focus to actually listen to someone else, and that's one of the things I'm working on. And I know that I'm gonna get better at it. It's basically similar to like any sort of practice, any sort of work. Like the more you do, the better you get at it. So I guess meditation is preparation for that because in while meditating, you're literally listening to yourself. Uh, and in a way, you're trying to distance yourself from your internal dialogue. And that's when you're going to be able to experience the meditation in the core form. I had those moments, but the challenge is to stay in that zone for a longer period of time. And some of the things which help me to attain that are, psychedelics or some of the other biohacks like sauna or cryotherapy, because then you're kind of focused to pay attention to your body. So you're in a way you're listening to your body, listening to your mind, because your mind gonna come up with like random scenarios to get out of that situation. And then you're listening to it and trying to figure out like why, what sort of excuse your mind is coming up with, and just calm yourself down, which would not be possible unless you are actively listening to yourself. So, keeping that in mind, I'm gonna start my hour-long meditation, and you will have pleasure of watching it. And before I do that, I gotta turn on the appliances so the things in my freezer doesn't start melting. So I'll be back in a quick second. No, it doesn't take that long to turn on the appliance. I figured like I'll just pee because I have to sit here for the next hour, and I don't want to think about pee out of all the things. So, yeah. All right, cool. So, with that note, I am gonna set an alarm for an hour, and we will meditate. Perfect. I'll see you in an hour.